All right, y'all, welcome to the show. I have a incredible one for you. So in just a second, Trump claims that Obama and the Democrats actually wrote the Epstein files. This is something you can't make up. If I had told you that this was something he said, you'd be like, come on, bro. There's no way that's true. Wait for it. So I got the whole statement for you. It's a long one, by the way. We'll also get to Alex Jones and Tim Dillon and other right-wing figures are coping hard over Trump's Epstein betrayal. I have some new spin that these people are landing on that I'm going to share with you. We'll also get to Alligator Alcatraz. The concentration camp is actually way worse than you think it is. It is already packed with innocent people. So we'll dive into that. We have some boos erupting as Trump goes to the Club World Cup game, which was in New Jersey. He gets absolutely humiliated as the entire crowd turns on him. We'll also get to some horrible news coming out of Israel. Illegal extremist settlers have officially murdered an American citizen. And by the way, it is not their first. We have Zoran continuing to lay the smackdown on Trump. And we have sloppy Steve Bannon panicking as one of the MAGA supporters goes off script and begins to attack Trump. So we have that and more. Everybody do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. That helps out big time and costs you nothing at all. I'd really, really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. We could not do it without you. You guys make it possible. If it wasn't for you guys, we would be nothing. This is real independent media. You can also support Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack, and you can also go support Corn's World, his YouTube channel. We've been dropping Kyle and Corn podcasts over there, and we're trying to get it up and started where we're doing it live, but we'll see if we're able to pull that off at least anytime soon. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into it. We got a lot of stuff to get to. So a couple days ago, y'all, was a big day online because Trump absolutely humiliated himself. Seemingly out of nowhere, he had a panicked breakdown live on Truth Social and came up with the worst spin I think I've ever seen trying to deflect from the Epstein files, which is, of course, a huge story right now. So Trump said the following. Here we go. I don't even know if I can go through this whole thing because it's so fucking long, but let's try our best. What's going on with my boys and in some cases, gals? What? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. By the way, let me just pause to point out, notice he's saying Pam Bondi's doing a phenomenal job. The reason he's saying that is because she's under fire, but what people need to understand is Bondi is doing the bidding of Trump. So if you're mad at Bondi, you should be mad at Trump. This is like one of the convenient types of spin that MAGA is landing on is like, I can't believe Dan Bongino is doing this. I can't believe Kash Patel is doing this. I can't believe Pam Bondi's doing it. And it's like, no, it is Trump. Trump is the one that's doing it. This is what you need to understand. All right, let's continue. We have a perfect administration. The talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it. All over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? Okay, all right, let's pause. This is probably the least convincing spin I've ever heard in my life. Like, I literally don't know how it could get more embarrassing, more humiliating, more pathetic than this. Barack Obama wrote the Epstein files. Hillary Clinton wrote the Epstein files. If Hillary wrote the Epstein files, why did she put her husband in them? I mean, it's astonishing. When I read this the first time, I kept thinking, he's basically tattooing guilty directly on his forehead. Nothing has ever come across more desperate to deflect and obfuscate than this, right? It's like they found a soft spot, and Trump is just reminding everybody day in and day out, hey, this is the soft spot. This is the nerve center. This is the thing that I actually, am worried about. All right, they continue. If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? They haven't even given up on John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files. No matter how much success we have had securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons, it's never enough for some people. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years, and we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she's looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. And now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. All right, well, let me tell you, it is absolutely not true that nobody cares about it. Seemingly everybody now cares about it. You're making it more of a story than it's ever been before. You keep breathing air into the story because now everybody realizes you're guilty. So, as Prem Thakur points out here, here's the evolution of the deflection and obfuscations from MAGA on this. Ready? We're releasing the Epstein files day one. Then it becomes, there are no Epstein files. Then it becomes, here's video proof nothing happened. Then it becomes, okay, we had to edit it. Then it became, there are no Epstein files. There are Epstein files, but the Democrats made them. And why do you even care so much about this Epstein guy? What even are files, bro? This is what's happening. So like I said, we're going to get to the prominent MAGA media figures who have come up with their own way of coping and seething over this, and they've landed on certain convenient stories and narratives to make themselves feel better about the fact that Trump's in the Epstein files. But what's interesting is to watch in real time the reaction of some of Trump's supporters, right? So look at this. Let's go to, this is on Truth Social when he posts that essay-long deflection trying to blame Obama for writing the Epstein files, which is preposterous. His supporters are not all that happy. Watch this. Ready? One person says, we want the elite pedos exposed. You promised us that. Pam promised us that. Cash promised us that. Now it's our fault because we want that promise fulfilled and call Pam out every time she lies? What else has she lied to us about? So this voter's not happy, but also take note of the exact wording from this person. They're basically saying, hey, Pam Bondi is leading you astray. Not realizing that Trump's the one who's saying, don't release the Epstein files, I'm in them shits. So here we go. Already some spin. This person says, you are losing too many in your base. Have an aide collect what we are saying all over social media. Pam Bondi has not been telling us the truth. Her story changed each time. Sir, you need to listen to us. Are you aware how long and hard many of us worked to get to the truth? We refuse to give this a pass. For us, this will not go away. This is about the children. So again, we have another example of them saying very clearly, hey man, Pam Bondi is steering you wrong. So again, this is why I always say, man, you got to pay close attention when you're dealing with MAGA. You have to pay close attention because they'll tell you what they actually think. And still somehow at this late date, there's largely an exoneration for Trump among the base. They're pissed. They want those Epstein files. But right now they're going, oh, Pam Bondi led you astray. Pam Bondi did you wrong. All right, more. This is going to cost you so many supporters. I being one of them. I've been to multiple rallies and even was there on January 6th. Jesus Christ. This is one of the main things that needs fixed. Our two-tiered system of justice needs to end. We the people are tired of it. They can't be charged with child trafficking without there being perpetrators. Alan Dershowitz, who was accused of being one of them, has seen the list when he went to defend himself. We want the guilty to pay. It appears you or a loved one is on it, I think that's supposed to say, and you want this to go away. There we go. This person's getting it. Everyone I know is upset about this, and it will kill MAGA, which we all have supported 100%. This is why we don't trust the government. No transparency unless it is something you want us to see. Please reconsider, sincerely. So, here's my question for you guys, right? Here's my question for you guys. Is this going to be the event that gets him to bottom out at his bare minimum, his absolute floor? You guys have heard me say this before, but I think his absolute floor is anywhere from 26% to 33% of the country that will never abandon him. They are the Kool-Aid drinking cultists. And I say that because those are the numbers that said they would support the U.S. stealing Greenland and owning it. Between 26 and 33%. So, is this going to be the thing that gets him there? There's already been some polls that have him at 38% in one, 39% in another, but I think the average is more around like 42-ish, right? Is this going to be the thing that gets us to 33% or under is my question for you. My guess is this. I do think the numbers will go down a little bit. But I think we'll go from like an average of 42 to an average of like 40. I think maybe you'll see one poll where he drops down to like 36%, somewhere in there. But I actually don't think this is going to get him all the way to anywhere between 26 and 33%. And the reason I say that is because, again, are his people pissed? Oh, they're absolutely pissed. But you see the wheels turning. And the wheels are turning in a way where they're trying to find a way to excuse Trump. And that's why some of them land on Pam Bondi's to blame. Some say Dan Bongino. Some say Kash Patel. We have other kinds of spin that I'm going to show you in a minute, which are incredibly creative, but still nonetheless incredibly stupid. Because, and I love that point that Trump made in it, like, well, if they always dared on me, why didn't they release it? They did. But the Democrats don't play dirty politics and they don't know how to run a campaign. So when that story came out of Jeffrey Epstein on literal audio tape saying he was your best friends with you for over a decade, no Democratic politicians talked about it, but that's because they suck at politics. We talked about it. Everybody else talked about it who read the article, the Daily Beast article, and listened to the audio tape. We talked about it. There's countless evidence. It's just that your political opposition is barely even in opposition. So that's why you largely got away with it. And every time the right would talk about Epstein and they'd bring up, Bill Clinton, I would pull my hair out like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Talk about Bill Clinton. But also your guy that you guys still support to this day is all over the Epstein files. So, but anyway, I come back to the question. Is this going to be the thing that gets him to 33% or lower? My guess is no, but he is going to lose a little bit over this. Because again, the wheels are turning. They're finding a way to try to get back to him. And they're landing on Pam Bondi's to blame or Kash Patel is to blame. And somebody's giving Trump bad advice and wrong advice or whatever. Very few of them are actually coming to the correct conclusion, which is he's in the Epstein files. He was Epstein's best friend for a decade. There's tremendous dirt on him, which is why he's seemingly melting down in public in a way we hardly have ever seen him do before, ever. No matter how scandalous the story, he's usually more poised than this. But this one, he's falling apart, bro. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.